Today we're going to be looking at the Fan Dance Capelet. Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel, Kazzalistic. I nearly forgot my own channel name then. And welcome to my new subscribers. Thank you very much for joining me. And for my returnees, of course, as well. So today we're going to be looking at this. I will do a shot for you at the end so you can see it in its full capacity. This has come out much larger than I thought it would. It looks more like a shawl, but it's classed as a capelet. As you can see, it's absolutely enormous. So it's not quite as long as a shawl, but it's a good size. Now I really like this because you can wrap it round. I'm just going to move my camera down a bit and a bit more, and as you can see it sort of pretty much comes down to my waistline, so it covers part of your sleeve. So actually if you're a crocheter and you just need something over your shoulders and halfway down your arms but you still need the freedom to move, this is quite a good one for just sort of keeping your top half warm. So I thought that was quite nice. So I'm just going to move the camera back up. Oh. There we go. Right, so yeah, I really did enjoy this pattern. It took a lot longer than I thought it was going to take. I thought it was going to take maybe a week at most. It's actually taken me 2 weeks. Now partly is my speed is a lot slower at the moment, I'm finding, since we've had the grief of losing both our fur babies. My concentration isn't quite as good, and I've noticed that my speed's gone down a little bit, so it might be why it took me a little bit longer, but I would allow probably 2 weeks at least. So the pattern is called the Fan Dance Capelet, and it's by Melody Talon. So there we go. Now I do believe that this is a paid for pattern. Don't know if that's actually going to focus or not. Hopefully you can, there we go, that's better. So I think this was paid for pattern. It's one I picked up with a coupon code, so I got it for free. That is something that I recommend doing. I've got so many paid for patterns free. You just got to keep an eye out in different groups on Facebook and on blogs and stuff like that. So I picked this one up for free, but like I say, it is paid for pattern. Now the yarn she's used is Schweppes Wool, which for that she's used 1 cake, and I thought, oh, 1 cake, excellent. Didn't quite go to plan, but I'll explain why in a minute. So it uses a 4mm hook. Gauge isn't important, and now you could say, she says that the approximate finished size is 48 cm from the neckline to the centre of the back. Okay, so I'm not going to go into every line of this pattern because, to be honest, I'd be here forever and a day. Because consists of 41 rows, I think it was. Now this is a really lovely written pattern. You get every detail that you need in it. One thing I will read is just from the notes in the instructions. She uses the term shell. This is something that Jada in Stitches also does. She uses the term shell for when she's doing things like granny squares and stuff. So when you've got a cluster of stitches together, basically. So in this pattern you'll have shells that consist of either 3, 5, 7 or 9 US double crochets. This is written in US terminology, so if you're in the UK, just beware. So obviously this is predominantly in treble crochet in UK terms. So you start with a magic ring and obviously work some stitches into that, and then you start basically doing these shells, which involves skipping some stitches and doing chain ones between the stitches, and each row your shells get progressively bigger. So this is why I'm not going to go into finite details. Now at the beginning of each row, pretty much I think most of the way through, there are some very slight differences along the way down each edge. So for here you've got a few more US doubles here than further along. But further along, when you get along here, the ends, basically each row starts with a chain 3, 1 US double crochet into the next stitch and 3 into the next stitch, and that's like that at the beginning and end of each stitch. So you basically end up with 5 stitches at the end of each row. And basically your shells get bigger. You have a chain 1 between each shell. When you get to this section here, as you can see, there is some meshwork. It's just 2 rows, which basically consists of 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet, that's US terminology of course, trebles if you're in the UK, and then so you do those 2 rows, and then from then on you're basically working shells. So you start off with shells of 3s, as you can see, then it will go shells of 5s, 7, 9s and so on up. Now they do vary, so you'll have a few 5s and a few 7s, and then by the time you get up to this point all your shells will be of 9. Now some of the shells do alternate. You do need to concentrate on the pattern because I'm trying to see if I can find an obvious place where there is. So for instance here, at some points, and this happens a couple of times during the pattern, you will need to put a single double crochet in a chain space, so it's between your shells, as you can see there, and then you'll find that the following row you'll be putting a 3 DC shell into that 1 stitch below. Then it'll increase to 5, you might do a couple of rows of 5s, then it'll be 7s. Now these ones will all be 9s at this point. So the size of the shells do alternate between each block, if that makes sense. I hope I'm explaining that okay. And that's pretty much it. So once you get past the measure point, basically you are just doing shells and chain 1s. And like I say, you've got double crochet started here, and you also have one towards the end where there's a single double crochet started there. Now I had 2 issues. With the pattern. One was on row, just see if I can find it, I'm pretty sure I marked it. Right, on row 26, because everything's a repeat, you do the starting bit that I've already explained. You do chain 1, and then it said to do 3 DCs into the middle of the next shell. Now the problem was there wasn't a shell in each section that I needed. It just didn't sit right. It by doing it that way, it was pulling everything in instead of fanning it out, and I couldn't work out why. So I don't know if that's a mistake in the pattern or if I just was not understanding it. So I changed it to 3 DC in the middle. I did 3 DC, this is US terminology, into the 1 DC. So basically it's this point here. So it was saying to do 9, and then that 3 would have been in there, but what it was doing is it was pulling it in like that. So I've actually done it so that there was 3 there, which made more sense when I then got up to the next row, because then that was then level above and it increased the shell size from there. So I think I've done that right. So that was one mistake to look out for. Now the other issue I had was on rows 39 and 40, so right near the end. So it's these 2, basically this point here. It told you to do this DC in the chain space, and then this one it told you to do it in the chain space as well, but the problem is there is a chain space here and a chain space there, and it didn't tell me whether to do the DC into this space or that space, and it just looked crooked. It didn't make sense to me, and going by the picture it actually looked like this DC should go into the top of that one and vice versa with this one. So what I actually did was I DC'd into the DC from the previous row instead of doing it in the chain space. Now I'm going by the pictures on here. Now the pictures are done from quite a way away, but from what I could see it looked like the DCs lined up, so that's what I've done. I could have done that incorrectly, but the pattern still worked regardless. So that was rows 39 and 40. I changed that. And that's pretty much the pattern. I hope I've explained that okay. It is just lots of shells and chain spaces predominantly. You do need to concentrate just as the quantity. Now, as far as yarn goes, like I said, I've used a 4mm hook. Just getting, I've made use of my new bag. Look, I've been a good girl. So, I just want to say a very special thank you to Jan Carruthers from Urban Gypsy Crochet. I will link her channel down below. Jan very kindly sent me some yarn from Lolly's Little Wool Shack, I think it's called. And she said one of the things she sent me was a cake, which was white in the middle and pink on the outside, and it was called Vogue with Love. Now there is, as you can see, nothing on the back. Literally that is the only information. I would say from the feel of it, it was 100% acrylic. It was quite a soft acrylic, so, but I mean it could be a mixed blend, I don't know for sure, so it was a little bit of guesswork. So I centre pulled it, so hence why I've got the white. But what I love about this is, I think it might show a bit better on this side, you can see I get these little patches of grey just flicking through it every now and then. And then it turns into, let me see if I can get the right side, it goes pale pink, very pale pink here, and into a sort of darker pink, and then even darker pink here. And that's basically it. I ran out of yarn, because obviously this is supposed to be one cake project, but the Schweppes Swirl obviously has a lot more yardage on it. The yarn sort of ended, I'm trying to find, it was round about here somewhere. So as you can see, I've got darker and then a slightly lighter pink afterwards. And the reason for that was that I tried to find the nearest pink I had in my own stash, just because I didn't want to unravel half a row, and I wanted to use all the yarn up that Jan had very kindly sent me. So it wasn't an exact match, but it wasn't far off. Was Mariner Double Knit, and the shade was 052, and it's called Fondant, which is right there. There we go. So that's what I used just to finish that bit off. And then for the rest of it, I've just had to use stuff out my stash. So this brighter pink, sort of slightly darker, was Mariner Double Knit again. And the shade was C-035 Cerise. Now this is a really, really old code. I've got a new batch of Mariner yarns, and they've changed how they've done their labels yet again. So this is, or this, I must have had this for about 3 years. So I don't even know if they still do that colour, in all honesty. Then for the darker colour, which is more of a red colour, but it was kind of the nearest thing I could get to match. So it's Mariner Double Knit again. I don't know if you're going to be able to read this because it's very faint, but it's 032 and the colour is called Claret. And that's all I had left out of a 100-gram ball, and that did 1, 2, 3, 4, that did 5 rows. And that was what I had left for the pink, and I did 5 rows of that. So obviously the further out you get, as you can see, there's quite a marked difference as what you have left over out of a 100-gram ball. And then the last row, I used black, again Mariner Double Knit, and the shade is 044 Black. So these last couple of codes are slightly newer, but they're not the newest codes, if that makes sense. And that's what I have left. This was a 100-gram ball, so I've caked up what I've got left. The camera will focus. There we go, it's a little bit better. So that's what I've got left out of a 100-gram ball. So I've used about 1/3 of a ball for the black. And I've just done it sort of as an edging to make it look finished. Now the final row, row 41, which is something that I did forget to say, is done slightly differently than the rest of the pattern. in that you do 1 half double crochet, that's US times, or half treble if you're in the UK, into every stitch that you have basically a double crochet in, or a treble crochet depending on where you are, and you skip the chain spaces, and then when you get to the 5th stitch at the top here, so by the time you get to these you'll be doing clusters of 9. So in the 5th stitch you do a chain 3, so you half double crochet, chain 3, half double crochet into the same stitch, which gives you these points, and then you're half doubling right the way across, skipping the chain spaces, and then doing the same at the top of each one, and it gives you this sort of slightly pointy edge, but I think it looks quite nice actually. So that's it. So I think this has come up lovely. I'm quite pleased with how the colours have come out. I really enjoyed using the cake, so thanks very much, Jan. I will say I haven't blocked this. I'll just fold it in half so it's a little bit easier to show you. And I will say this probably needs blocking, mainly because of the Mariner yarn. The cake, I have to say, it's got a lovely drape on it, but the Mariners, some of the newer Mariners tended to be a bit, oh well, I don't know about the more recent ones, but certainly when the old recession started to hit, I noticed Mariner yarn stopped being as soft as they used to be, so they're a bit stiff, so I need to wash it just to loosen it up, so it'll probably stretch a little bit more when I block it. I just haven't had time to do that yet. So I hope you found that useful, and I hope you enjoyed that. So thanks very much for the yarn cake, Jan, I really appreciate it. So needless to say, because obviously that was donated yarn, so it's a bit of a joint effort between me and Jan with our stash, sort of what Jan sent me in my stash. Apologies for the pings, I forgot to turn my tablet off. So that will be going off to Woolly Hugs, which if you've been with me for a while you'll know is a charity that I support here in the UK. So that will be going off to the refugee project, so hopefully that will be help keep somebody warm in both summer and winter. So yeah, so thanks, Jan, really appreciate the yarn, thank you very much. So life update, I'm going to keep it fairly short and sweet. It's my birthday. So I've hit the grand old age of 44, so I can't do what Jan's trick is of swapping my numbers around, because it still works out the same. Which kind of sucks. Mind you, when I was 45 and I tried to swing it round, it'd be 54, so I still wouldn't work in it. I have to wait till I get nearer Jan's age. Yeah, so it's my birthday. I do have some yarn and basically a gift haul, which I'm going to share with you guys. I want to say a very special thank you for those of you that have sent me birthday cards and also birthday presents. I really wasn't expecting. So I just want to say thank you very much to all of you. Those that have done that, I will try and message privately as well. But I just wanted to say thank you very much. It means a world to me that you guys care about me so much. It really has touched me, so thank you. Yeah, so I'm filming this, it's now 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so I'm halfway through my day. I've had some lovely presents. I've had a phone call from my dad. My mum is due to come over shortly. As you can tell, my tablet is pinging a lot. My apologies, I thought I'd put it on silent, but obviously I hadn't pressed the button. So obviously I'm getting messages come through still. So I'm having a nice day so far. Thankfully pain levels are not too bad today, so I'm feeling pretty good, so that's a huge blessing. Yeah, so really I'm trying to think. Had my friend's birthday last Tuesday. I'm just going to turn this on silent because it's going to keep pinging. Don't know why it's pinging, because it is actually on silent. That's weird. I had actually turned it on silent. Sorry about that. Don't know why the mute isn't working. Technology. So yeah, so we had my friend's birthday on Tuesday, so obviously that's sort of been a predominant part of my week. Yeah, and just looking after her really. I haven't really been anywhere or done anything, so it's been quite a quiet week. We've both been trying to recoup from just put a cushion over it, try and silence it, sorry. And yeah, just normal life really. It's nothing been very exciting and uneventful. I'm very pleased to report. We still haven't dealt with my Bella's ashes, just because of the week that it is. It's my friend's birthday, my birthday. We just didn't want to do anything particularly sad. I do have the stuff now to place her ashes in to send to the people who I'm going to get the necklace made with her ashes in. So that's something that I do have to sort out. Not looking forward to that bit. So that will probably possibly be next week, but I don't know. But other than that, there really is nothing really to tell you, it's other than it's my birthday. I do know that my friend Sian is live streaming tonight. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this video up before the stream starts, but she'll be doing a stream. I had planned to do a stream myself, but then when Sian said she was going to do it, I thought great, because then I don't have to be behind the camera and I can still chat to everybody else. So so thanks, Sian. I just want to say well done, Denise. Denise from Dear Designs. She did her first live stream this week. She did very well, so well done, Denise, if you're watching. Yeah, so that's it. I just want to say thank you to all my YouTube friends that have given me shout outs. I've tried to comment on everybody's, but as you can appreciate, I've had quite a lot going on just recently. I have been watching people's videos. I haven't always been commenting like I normally would, so please don't think that I'm not watching. I am. I'm just struggling to keep up with everybody, and obviously with all these new channels as well, it's just not enough hours in the day. So I've got to try and figure out a way of doing it to still be able to keep up with everybody. So how are you managing it if you've got found lots of new channels through the hashtag Small Yarn Creators? I'd love to know. Yeah, so next video will probably be a gift haul, and after that I don't know. I still need to do probably another 1 or 2 shout out videos for the hashtag Small Yarn Creators, to help other people's channels grow before the new monetization rules come in. Just want to say a special thank you to everybody that has subscribed and spent time binge watching my channel. You have now tipped me over the watch hours that I needed, so thank you very, very much. I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Congratulations to Kim, Blue Cherub 82. She has also just tipped over the threshold, so congrats, Kim, if you're watching. And a lot of my friends are very close. I know Sian is very close on the subscriber count, so yeah, I'll put a link down to her channel down in the description. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of people. I just if you're not subscribed, I'll put the link down to my previous shout out video, so if you're not already gone on to that and watched it, please do. I mean, it's so important that you press that subscribe button. It makes a huge difference to how YouTube view your channel, and how they interact with you basically, and how things like sponsors and that view you as well. If they can see your channel's growing, it makes a huge difference as to whether sponsors are going to approach you. So please, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe, and please do that to everybody else's channels that you watch as well. It's so important. And obviously watch time. The more time you spend watching us, the more healthy our channels become, the more YouTube basically rewards you. So so please do that for all my lovely friends. So I'm going to go. So thanks very much for watching. Like I said, next video will be a gift haul. Lots of yarn to show you. So I'm very excited about that. Yeah. So I'm going to end it here because I'm very excitable today and I could waffle for ages. So until next time, remember to stay well, happy crafting, happy birthday to me, and until next time, remember to stay true to yourself. Bye.